welcome to this episode of Kennedy Saves the World. And once again, it's our favorite time of the week. It's happy hour. Yay! Yay! And who's joining us today? None other than the author of Brainomics. He is the host of The Bottom Line. It's not, is it?
I can be Sean Duffy. Hi there. I'm from Wisconsin. I like lumberjacking. I have lots of kids.
And children.
The children.
Yeah. No, it's the
Big Money Show.
The Big Money Show. Yay.
You need the Big Money Show to get to the bottom line.
They were launched on the same day, and
That's
they both
right.
start with the, and then the second word starts with B.
The is very important.
Always get those
That's
wrong.
right.
And I've called the Best Week Ever show, the 6 o'clock show. I've called that the Big Money Show several times.
Call it whatever you want. Just watch it. That's all that matters.
Well, speaking of which, speaking of holiday festivities, I made some eggnog, Brenberg.
Oh, I've seen this. I've seen pictures of this.
So I posted some photos on X, as it is now known, and of course it's in a Christian Louboutin bag because we need to keep it fancy.
Which we need to spill on.
Mm-hmm, absolutely right.
Spilling all over that.
Really good. There we go. There's Brenberg's healthy
eggnog.
Minnesota portion.
We do consume a fair bit of eggnog.
I bet you do because you've got that priceless dairy. You've got fresh cream. You've got fresh milk. You got fresh eggs.
Yes.
All you need is sugar and some spices.
And it is. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Of course, it's
cheers.
A mocktail, Brenberg.
Mocktail. Yes,
cheers.
I know that. I'm
To
aware
your
of
health.
that. My grandma would say you're supposed to put some. She would say canooper in this. That's like, I think, a very Midwesternish kind of term for you got to put a little something in it to give it the kick.
Oh, okay.
You put your brandy, but it was canooper.
So
was the word.
This is Peter Suderman's recipe, and his recipe calls for many versions of alcohol. So one recipe is rum and bourbon.
Okay.
That's not this.
No.
Another is rum and brandy. That would be this if I put rum and brandy here.
Yes.
Yeah.
I hear what you're saying. In that world, you would put rum and brandy in it.
And
it would
this
be
one,
very
because
good.
the rum and bourbon has allspice. This does not. But you could taste what rum and brandy would taste like if it were in fact in here.
It just tastes like Christmas. You know, there's so many, like, you can have things that look like Christmas and sound like Christmas.
Yeah.
But you need something that tastes like Christmas.
Yeah.
And this,
so there's more cream than milk.
Yeah.
But I think that's necessary this time of year.
Well, I don't think you should hold back. You know, most of the year we're drinking very thin milk.
Yeah, we are.
Sadly.
Yeah.
So why not at this time of year drink
You got to
thick
thicken
milk?
it up. You only have a couple weeks to thicken it up.
And because you're thickening yourself up.
Exactly.
Because it's winter.
Hibernation.
You mean we live in this world now where we can heat ourselves, you know, and be comfortable. Yeah. But there was a time when we couldn't do those things, and so we needed to thicken. Thickening is what you did.
This
the
is
ice
getting
thickens.
back to our roots.
This is getting back to our roots. It's good. It's like almost like it's like paleo in a way. Eggnog is. Am I making any sense? I think I'm connecting some big dots
if there
right now.
weren't a half a cup of sugar in here, it would also be keto. But
yes, you know, all of those things.
But I don't want to deprive you.
Oh.
I added sugar.
I'm sugar forward.
Yeah.
I consume
You're
sugar.
not sugar free.
I'm not sugar. I'm sugar forward.
Brian Brenberg is
Leaning
sugar forward.
into sugar.
Into the dairy, into the sugar, into the eggs. They are raw eggs though. They've been pasteurized, but they have not been cooked.
I've always thought that Gaston had the best diet. You know, when you just take the raw
Beauty
eggs
and the Beast
drink them.
Yeah.
So, you know, again, eggnog can make you more like Gaston.
You
in
are
so
kind
many
of
ways.
like our Gaston. I mean, except the misogyny and.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that clarification.
And Nicki Minaj.
But I do respect him. He uses antlers in all of his decorating, and I use antlers in a lot of my decorating at the cabin. Much to my wife's chagrin, she doesn't like all of that.
What would she like if she were looking around? What would her ideal decoration be?
That is a great question. I think she kind of goes for more of that farmhouse kind of thing. Sans the animals that live in the forest around the farmhouse.
I love a good farm sink.
Yes.
I'm a huge
I agree
fan
on the farm
of
sink.
the big. I don't understand why we started dividing our sinks.
Yes.
It makes no sense.
Well, and where it comes around in the front, you know, you see the front of the sink coming out in the front. That's a nice touch.
Beautiful, hardy ceramic.
Yes.
We don't have enough
the
of that.
The sink is the heart in many ways of the kitchen.
Yes.
You know, so much comes into the house through through the faucet and then out of the house
Namely
through the
water.
sink. Namely, primarily water. Although on any given day, you don't know what may be lurking in those
Well, in
pipes.
New York City, you really don't know.
So I think we should talk more about sinks and how they can beautify our lives.
What are some fun, because I know you guys have good family traditions.
Oh, yeah.
What are some of your good family traditions for Christmas?
Well,
Who is your least patient child when it comes to opening gifts?
Oh, well, I have a least patient child in general, who also happens to be that child for opening gifts. Do I have to name her?
Well, we've cut Timmy out of the process.
So Maria, of course, is a lovely child.
Yes,
She's
she is.
not incredibly patient. She wants to get things done so that she can get on to her things. And I don't blame her. I was like that too. We have made it a tradition to get a real Christmas tree.
Beautiful.
And
I'm a fan. I know there's an argument to be made for the artificial tree, blah, blah, blah. I'm a fan of the real tree.
Yeah.
I like bringing the outdoors in. I like the smell.
The smell.
Like the feel.
I like actually the tending of it. You've got to keep it watered.
Absolutely.
It's alive. And we would go, so my barber growing up, this is actually, I think this is interesting. So he was a barber in Minnesota for a long time. In the 70s, everybody grew their hair out. Barbers were just, you didn't need a barber because nobody's cutting their hair.
Yeah.
So he diversified his business and got into, one of the things was a tree farm in the town that grew up in. So he's retired now, but for several years we've gone to his tree farm, which is closed, but he's still got a crop there, and we would cut down. It was lovely.
There is, and I've only done it a few times, but there's something very magical about going out and cutting down your own tree. Because it's like one of the greatest processes as a family is going and picking, selecting the Christmas tree. Because there's always jockeying and bargaining. And please, Dad, can't we get the 8-footer?
Yeah. We're not putting it in our yard, son. We're putting it in our living room. So those kind of moments. But there is, because you have to identify the tree and like find the one that's yours, and then you've got to cut it down. And if it's a real tree farm, they don't give you any motorized device to do that. You've got to get out the little handsaw and do it yourself. And so everyone loves to see Dad on the ground sawing down the tree and struggling.
Do you have your own chainsaw?
I don't at our cabin because my immediate neighbor and I usually work together in those things, and I'm not there as much as him. Yeah. So I don't maintain a lot of the equipment that you need.
Will he loan you the chainsaw to cut the tree down?
Not only will he loan it to me, but he stores it in my garage along with several other things. Because I'm not there to object to it. No. So I don't know what is coming and going at any given time in my cabin. I just hope when I get there, I can get in the front door.
Well, I hope you don't find a trunk full of hooker heads. That's all I can say.
Well, I haven't yet, although you're giving him some ideas now. And if he's listening, I would not like that for Christmas. Adam, don't get that for Christmas. There are better
Christmas,
things.
Adams. Holy cheese balls, son.
Let's watch the language, okay? This is a family program. This is a family podcast. Come on.
It really is. Everyone gathers around the hearth or the sink.
I need another sip of this because my Christmas spirit is just
Oh, no, we
dipping
can't let that diminish.
Mm-mm.
Oh, you can see the spicy goodness here. Watch when I sip, Brenberg. You can see the spicy goodness.
It's just right there at the bottom, and it's there to remind you. You look into the thing and you say, "There's some Christmas at the bottom."
You're absolutely right, and that's the optimist in you. So Maria will get up at 5 a.m. Will she try and wake everyone else up?
No. I'm sorry. We've misinterpreted. She is impatient. She will not get up early.
Oh.
But once she is up, then things must run on her schedule.
The gun goes off.
So we all sit around waiting for her to emerge. And then once she emerges, other things must happen in her life. And then once those things happen, why haven't we opened gifts yet? Let's open gifts. Why are we waiting for Timmy? Timmy, hurry up. Quit taking pictures. Don't put it together right now. Don't take it out of the box. Where's my gift? Okay, now let's move on to the next thing.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So we just operate on her schedule. But she's a world shaper. So
I love it, but that's why she's impatient, because she wants results now.
That's it.
She sees what needs tending.
Yes.
And she wants to get right in there, roll up her sleeves, and make it happen. I have a great deal of respect for that.
She will not be deterred.
Yes.
So our job as parents is to just help her figure out how to do that in a constructive way, of course. Sure. But she will not be deterred, and I think that's going to be one of her great strengths, which is why it's such a joy to celebrate Christmas with that wonderful, impatient daughter.
Yes. And does she have a list? Do they all have lists?
Oh, they have lists.
Have they gotten you their lists yet?
The lists
because
are
I know
there.
Timmy famously asked for pure cash.
He pure cash is always on his list many times. I have my mother-in-law and my mother like to do their Christmas shopping very early, in good Midwestern fashion.
My girls,
you eat dinner at 2 p.m. You know, you go to bed at 4 p.m. and you just so they want to get the Christmas shopping done very, very early.
Yeah.
So they had to get the lists out there to Grandma Diane and Grandma Mary very early, and they've got their lists for sure. It's these days it's like you just put together your Amazon, wish list and you send it to Grandma.
So one of my daughters gave me her Christmas list in notes, which was very smart because she included links.
Yes.
And then the other sent it to me via text, but she's also a very prolific texter. So
it's lost.
I'm gonna lose some things on that list.
Nope.
And I told her, your sister sent me a notes document.
Yeah.
Which was very easy. I can go to it any time and click on exactly what I would like to get her.
It's the underrated part of Santa Claus is Coming to Town, because you're making a list and we just kind of go over that, but it's really how you make the list so that he can check it twice.
Yes.
Because if you put it in text, it's not even going to get
check it
checked
twice.
once.
Yeah.
And you've lost. So
Exactly
listen
right.
to the song,
Listen to the song. Honor the man.
Honor the man.
And his time commitment.
He's got a lot of people, and he's building all this stuff from scratch.
I mean, I try and help him out with my girls. You know, I try and get a few things.
No, I hear you.
You know, when I'm running
give him a
errands.
hand. You know,
exactly
he's a
right.
tough world to be Santa Claus
Still from
in.
Santa.
It is. But nonetheless, he's got a lot going on, and he's he's got a lot of people to manage too.
I've kept my girls' lists over the years.
Oh, you have?
I keep them with the Christmas stuff.
Nice.
So I keep them in the box with the ornaments and everything else. And I love taking them out because they're so sweet.
Yes.
You know, it was before we asked for like curling irons and Sephora gift cards and things
Yes,
like that.
yes, Sephora gift cards. That is a new thing. I'm just like, all this makeup stuff, and I'm like, what? This is what we're getting? I don't know what this stuff is.
No,
it's gonna clog up my closet more than it already is.
I miss Barbies and paint pens and things like that.
Yes, yeah, I want some art supplies.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good time.
I'm still getting them art supplies.
Yeah, are you?
So we have a table in our kitchen that, you know, it was like kind of a crappy, cheaper table that I got on a discount website just because we needed something right away. And it's this kind of cool wood. So now I just have everyone who comes over either has to sign it or draw something on it.
Oh, that's cool.
So now I can never get rid of that table because there's so many people and so many memories.
Yes.
So when you and the
love
Brenbergs
it.
come over, you gotta lay down some
Put your
Brianomics.
John Hancock right on
Absolutely.
that thing. I think it's so smart in a world where anything can be mass produced or kind of mass customized, to customize things only the ways that you can. And that's always the in-person touch to it. I think that is just so wonderful.
Yeah, I love going around and seeing what people have drawn and just even the way someone signs their name.
Yes.
So someone drew a beautiful tattoo design on there. A lot of pictures of Lemmy. A lot of little Lemmy portraits on there.
You must have very artsy friends, which it does not surprise me.
I would like to think so.
By the way.
Yeah.
My drawing will look more like
I don't mind.
somebody who's being held captive or something, you know.
Kat drew a picture of a soup bowl with a cape at Super Bowl and wrote Super Bowl spelled soup. That's great.
How can you compete with these kinds of friends? You can't. You know, this is a problem when you come to New York City. There's so many creative people here, and you know, here I am, and I'm like, hey.
Well, just
I'll write
do
my
like
name.
a giant dollar sign.
You know, maybe that's what I'll do. A dollar sign, or maybe I'll give you some lyrics from shared songs that we have interest in.
The Great Lake they call Gitchagumi.
I could do something like that. That's one where I feel like I have a unique angle.
Well, between the nog, the love for the Midwest, the love for family, and the appreciation of where we have come in our careers, it is always so nice to spend some time with you during a happy hour.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the wonderful nog. I feel Christmas coursing through my veins.
Absolutely. One more sip.
One more
Brenberg.
sip.
Cheers
One
to
more.
you.
Cheers
Merry
to
Christmas
you.
to all during this early part of the season. This has been Kennedy Saves the World, along with Brian Brenberg and his Brianomics. I'm Kennedy. Listen ad-free with a Fox News Podcast Plus subscription on Apple Podcasts, and Amazon Prime members can listen to this show ad-free on the Amazon Music app.
Oh, go ahead and leave me a review while you're there. I'd love to hear what you have to say. You've been listening to Kennedy Saves the World on the Fox News Podcast Network.